Does anyone have any, by the way, like any formatting things about the podcast where they're like, that could be better?
Is now the time that we're going to...
I don't know.
I just got this out.
We're gonna leave this all in.
We're going to leave it.
And 3, 2, go. Any other suggestions
any
how to
notes?
make it better?
Please throw
And
some
we are live.
digs.
So any notes from my friends whom I adore?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Meeting Place podcast, where we talk movies, entertainment, televisions, and the things we enjoy all over the place. I'm Diego, your host for today. We got Chris, Emma, Emily, Griffin, and Jordan. And yeah, we're just here to talk some things out, like we're fighting or something.
Because we're fighting.
Yeah. I guess we're starting with the little topics that we throw at the beginning. And my topic for the day is that there was some stories going on around, and there was a lot of interesting conversations because at first everyone thought that it was fake. And it was that KFC is coming up with a gaming console.
Oh,
where
Kentucky Fried Chicken?
can the man himself, Kentucky Fried Chicken,
Mr. Sanders,
Mr.
head
Colonel?
gamer at
the
KFC.
one and only Colonel Sanders, is bringing out a gaming console in which you can keep your chicken warm. Let me say that again. You can keep your chicken warm inside of this gaming console.
So it's like an easy bake oven, but you can play it.
Well, I don't know if you can cook it, but you can certainly keep it in there.
Keep it warm.
So
Just
I think this is why people thought it was a joke, because there's that Community episode where they do a KFC whatever motorhome, and there's like 3 or 4 KFC mini games. And I think like 7 years ago, College Humor also did a sketch of a KFC gaming console. So it's crazy that it's really happening right now.
But is it really happening?
It's really real. At
What?
least so far, there have been no articles claiming that it's not, claiming that it's fake. A lot of articles are actually saying, yes, it's real. They're coming out with it. It's been like a month, maybe a little less, but it's out there.
If it comes out, we need to get it and we need to
Yeah.
play it.
I
That's
have
what
to
I
get
would
it,
say.
right? Like it's important for me to have it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Chris, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm just I'm thinking about what the controller would look like, and it would just be like two
Drumsticks?
Two drumsticks.
two chicken legs next, like, you know, like the drumsticks, but like the thigh with the thing. So like,
Yeah.
you know,
God.
That's
So
really
Oh
it's
my
like
god,
a-
KFC,
like a
that's gonna be
thing.
$5,000 for that idea, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, trademark that right now, Chris.
And it's always greasy, so you never have to worry about getting your controller greasy.
Oh,
when you're
it's
eating
greasy.
chicken,
It
when
leaves,
you're
you have
normally
to keep
eating
your
chicken.
controller in a bowl or it fucks up your coffee table. No
You know when
swearing,
you're eating
everybody.
fried chicken while playing Call of Duty or
oh my
NHL.
gosh.
I don't.
All right, let's
Yeah,
let's
wait a
be.
minute. I've never had chicken while playing video games.
You're missing out. You're missing out.
Yeah, I feel like lots of people have chicken while
You're
playing
not meant for the
video
KFC
games.
brand.
I really feel like you need 2 hands.
Emily, you're not saying much. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear your thoughts actually.
Yeah,
on
let's
this.
all look at Emily.
I really want to get into this. I mean, I'm just in shock that someone thought of this. So it's a little warming device. Does like you have a little disc ROM that goes in there? Can you put other things besides chicken in there? Is
A
it
disc
trademarked?
ROM.
Do you have to order chicken with the thing?
Ooh.
I have so many
Whoa.
questions about this.
Do you get some sort of discount when you get?
Or
the
are there
game?
certain games that you can only play on this device? Or is it sort of like chicken-based games? I don't know.
Also,
Right, yeah.
added question, is it like a McDonald's toy? So like if I buy like $2,000 worth of chicken, is that the only way to get it? Does it come with
2,000.
Well, think about how much money.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Think about how much money a gaming console that also warms chicken would cost if it
If I
worked
buy
well.
$80 of chicken, can I get Call of Duty Warzone?
Yeah, exactly.
Jordan?
I would like to know a round table, and we'll start with Emma. What would you pay? You can be realistic about this. What would
Mhm.
you pay for this console?
Oh,
Okay.
This is it.
I don't.
If you want it.
Sorry.
First of all, do you want it?
I'll give you context, Emma, as well. So
Yeah, okay,
regular
thank you.
consoles are about $299 to about $600 for Sony PlayStation's about $600, $500, and the Xbox gets as low as $299.
Okay, so I don't own any gaming consoles. Not that I don't like video games. I just don't do them.
But what a first.
But what a first this would be. So if we're talking like joke possibilities, like how funny it would be, I did just buy like a $250 snowsuit for just walking around in. That's pretty much a joke. So if we're going I mean that ski suit's gonna last me my whole life. Haven't been skiing in like 7 years. But so if we're talking about joke possibility, and if I could share it with someone else and then possibly resell it later, I would probably spend about $250 on that chicken thing.
$250 value for the KFC console. And that is the first iteration as well.
Yeah.
Yes, version 1.
That's right, version 1.
Prototype.
Man, when the KFC 2 comes out, I mean...
Yo, are you guys buying the KFC X?
No,
extra
KFC
extra
300 degrees.
KFC XXX. Yeah.
I would probably pay. I don't know. This seems like nothing. I would put under $100. So if this, I don't know what kind of games. The thing is with consoles. Yeah, I'm thinking about this seriously. Is like, are they going to get Ubisoft games? Are they going to get Bethesda? Are they going to get like what's going to happen on this console that is like also because right now it's microwave. So I don't want to spend. I'd spend $100 on a microwave, and then if it's if it has games too, then I could see $150. I don't know what this. That's kind of where I would land on it, where I expect to see it on the shelf. Yeah, if it's $89.99, I'm like, I'm thinking that's a deal.
Fair enough.
Hey, Jordan, who's next?
I think Griffin is
not gonna be good, right? Because if it was, why would KFC be the first one to do this? It's kind of like either a year ago, a few years ago, when Peanuts, they killed Mr. Peanut during the Super Bowl, and now their new logo is like Kid Peanut, whoever it is.
Ew.
I think this is a marketing thing that's going to last a year, and then they're going to like discontinue KFC servers. I think
for sure,
because for a company like KFC to do like an Amazon and go do like whatever a whole different genre of product, it's kind of baffling. It can't be good. Are they making a console and games, or are they becoming game developers as well as software engineers? I don't think so. I'd pay. However, if it is good, I'd pay like $300. Because if it turns out to be good, and it's a KFC gaming console, easily $300.
That's what I was gonna say. Counter argument: why KFC is the first one is because they're the perfect group to do it.
Yeah,
they're the perfect company to do that kind of thing. Are they not to make?
I would think McDonald's would be the first.
Also warms your chicken.
McDonald's would make the most sense.
Yeah.
Dude, but also if it doesn't do well and it's like a limited edition thing and you buy it right away, think about what it's going to be worth in like 30 years time when everybody wants when everybody wants stuff from the 90s right now. Like think about in like 2050 when people are like, hey, remember when KFC did that gaming console? Yeah, I wish people hadn't like smashed all of theirs and there's only like 2 left in the world.
We're not lasting until 2050.
What? Huh?
I said we're not going until 2050. Let's be real.
That's
well, Chris, what do you think about the KFC?
And that's the end of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
I have a couple thoughts. One, call back to our last podcast where we talked about the PS5s getting bought by all the bots. We just buy all of the KFC consoles.
Oh, that's good.
Yes,
That's
Chris.
what we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the innovation I like to see.
All the chicken.
And what would I'm also having a tough time in my brain picturing this thing not made out of chicken. Like everything is
Cords or chicken?
everything is made of chicken. I don't know how
giblets,
they did it.
A charger that goes in the wall. It's a chicken.
It's just a string of popcorn
Talons?
Oh
Talons is way funnier.
Oh,
Bottoms
no.
just go right in.
Into the outlet?
I would pay a 20-piece bucket is $37.99. So I would pay however much chicken went in to build the console. So that's at least 3 buckets. So that's $114, give or take.
I need to ask you something, Chris. Did you know that off by heart, or did you look that up right now? Be honest. We're on the podcast.
We're live. No, I googled it. I had to get the
source.
So
I want to cut that bit out that you just said about that it's definitely made out of 3 buckets of chicken, and I want to cut that out and send that to KFC and say, we're your biggest fans. Is it made out of chicken? Please send us.
We got a commercial here.
We got a commercial.
We'll divert our channel entirely to KFC game streaming.
Right.
Like, actually, yes.
Oh man. All right.
And then
I think
Emily didn't guess. Emily didn't guess the price.
I mean, honestly, I'm not interested in this gaming system. Would
Got
never
it.
buy it. It's a waste of my time. If I was gaming, I mean, if I'm eating chicken, I don't want to also be gaming with my hands. Like, I want to be able to focus my time and energy on that fried chicken. So it would be wasted on me anyways. So
I see. Wait a second. So you're saying that the game is a distraction from the chicken, not the other way around?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Thank you for understanding.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I get it.
Anyways.
Oh well, my lord.
All right. We should go to the first butter me up section of the podcast. Hey. So who's got recommendations? Put up your hand. Going once.
Yeah,
Jordan, go ahead.
Perfect. I'm going to recommend the most delicious protein that I have had in a long time.
Is it chicken?
It's not chicken flavored. Let me tell you that much.
Chicken flavored.
The company is... So the one my butter me up segment is for First Form. They do a whole lot of stuff, but I enjoy their protein. The protein I get is called Fruit de Loop, and you can guess that it is a Fruit Loops flavored protein, and it is delicioso, and it is not chunky. It is not like, I'm eating a whole bunch of sand right now, and it is lovely. So I just literally got some, not lying, I had some other possible things. It's like I literally got it on the doorstep again today. So
Nice.
First Form protein.
is it just like crushed up Fruit Loops? Like
I'm not just eating Fruit
put
Loops.
some whey
It's a
powder
real
in
thing.
there. Mix it all up.
It is a whey protein, so it's not vegan. This one, I'm sure they have other vegan products though.
Check them out.
Check it out.
Who also had their hand up?
I mean, I could go.
Emily, go ahead.
I mean, so this is something that I just discovered, but I was weirdly into the Hunger Games when it came out. And I'm not much for a big franchise. I usually don't follow those, like Twilight or whatever. I'm not into that. But I got weirdly into the Hunger Games. And then I just saw that they have a new book that she released that's a prequel to it, which I was oh, that's interesting. And apparently they're going to be making a movie soon. I think so. The book is called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and it's sort of a prequel when President Snow in the books, it's when he's younger and his experience in the Capitol and with the Hunger Games and all this stuff. So it was actually it was pretty cool just in terms of having all this information of the series that was quite popular, but definitely worth checking out if you're into that series, and because apparently there's a movie coming out soon. So
shit.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's so fun, actually. I'm actually intrigued at a prequel based on the evil guy in the
Well, yeah, and it's one of those stories where they try to like humanize the villain kind of thing. So it is kind of a cool thing of you see the villain in these current books and it's like, oh, well, why is he that way? And I mean, I don't know if I loved it, to be honest, but it was interesting.
Enjoyable.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I feel like I was telling a coworker the other day that I feel like if Harry Potter hadn't been a thing, the Hunger Games would have been bigger.
There's
just an opinion there.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting hot take.
Yeah.
But do you think that? So you said Harry Potter, right? But don't you think those are kind of living in two different genres? Like, isn't Hunger Games more like the dystopian future, whereas Harry Potter seems more like a fantastical fantasy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they are in two different kind of realms.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess in just like the sense of like the youth audience books and movies that just like sparked a fandom really kind of, you know, and so I rewatched them recently, so I was like, these movies are actually really freaking good. But yeah,
but
just a hot take.
They were pretty huge when they came out.
They were.
I think I would be interested to see how the books did. Like the books obviously didn't do as well as the Harry Potter books. There was also less of the books too. There was 3 of the Hunger Games, right?
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, interesting conversation to have.
Nice.
Hey, take it away, Jordan.
We have some more quick hits here before we get to the main portion of the show. So more on movies, entertainment, anything we find interesting. We found out that Loki season 2 is already starting production, which means that Loki season 1 came across at least to some form of reviewers or production or what have you as decent. So I'm excited for Loki season 2 to have started, but
is season 1 even released yet?
It's not. So I was just saying, like, that seems pretty nice. But what is about to be released, which we can start talking about if people are interested or not, is WandaVision. Comes out next week. Today, because I don't know what day it is anymore. Friday. There we go. Yeah. It comes out next week, and it's one of those shows that you look up on 2021's most anticipated shows, and that is on, I would say, every list. Is anyone going to be watching that? Is anyone interested in that at all?
Sorry, what is the name of the show?
It's called WandaVision. So WandaVision is from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a Disney show. It's going to be on Disney Plus. It's just expanding on the ever-expanding MCU universe. I'll open it up even more. So I'm really pumped up for WandaVision. That's probably one of the most anticipated things for me in 2021. In 2021, are you excited for any other shows or movies that are coming out? And I'm going to pass it around up to Emma.
Oh, hello. Hi. Okay, so I don't follow. I mean, like, that's one of the great gifts that this group has given me, is that I now have a better understanding of like what's coming out.
Right.
Because normally I don't follow that very often. But season 4, or like the final season of CW Sabrina, just came out on the did it come out on the 31st or the 25th? I think it was the 31st of December.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I still have to watch that because that's like my guilty pleasure show, is Sabrina. And also there's a show called A Discovery of Witches, which is on Sundance Now, which you guys might not know about. I was actually telling Emily this last night. But it's based on like a really awesome, like 3-book long, like a trilogy of books. And they're incredible. And it stars Matthew Good, who's like he's from Downton Abbey. He's from The Crown. Yeah. And I forget the name of the woman in it, who's also incredible. But anyway, season 2 drops on the 9th. So I re-signed up for another free trial of Sundance Now so that I can binge it in 2 days and then cancel. Yeah. So those are like the two things I'm really excited about. I know there's crazy stuff that's supposed to be coming out in the summer that I think I'm also excited about, but I don't know right now. So
that's the top of your list, and I actually really like that because I wouldn't have known about about those. Because there's so much, and I kind of like that I opened it up to what are you most excited about, not just about this one thing, because there's so many things coming out this year, and since we are all in the entertainment industry, I bet there's something that we're like, oh man, I can't wait for the next season to come out, and it's probably coming out this year. So I'll go over to the next in my screen, and that is gonna be Emily.
Okay, so I'm really bad at being like current and up to date with what's coming out. Usually I'm late to the game, so something will be out, everyone's seen it, and then I'm like, oh, what's that show that we all watch? And then I am really behind. So I don't know much about what's coming out this year, but I did see a little rumor, I think it's for 2022, that Game of Thrones is doing a prequel, apparently.
They are.
I was like, that would be cool. Although I'm kind of worried because I feel like it, sometimes those prequel things aren't as good, or like runoffs of the series. But I am looking forward to that someday. So I know about that.
Would you say Game of Thrones is probably the fandom you know the most about?
I probably know more about Hunger Games.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like I know I mentioned it before, but I probably read the series like 4 times.
Wow.
Each. Like I got really obsessed. And I don't get obsessed with things.
Wouldn't you? I would almost argue, just from now all the info we gather from the podcast, wouldn't you be more knowledgeable about the Bachelorette universe?
No, I'm not actually, because
you're not.
No, because I'm new to it. Like I only started watching last year or a year and a half ago, and then I kind of have been true to it ever since. But no, I'm new to it.
Oh,
No, I'm very new to Bachelor Nation.
Bachelor Nation still garnering new fans as of last year, so that is going strong. Good for them.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna pass it over to Chris.
There you go.
I mean, I'm a similar boat as Emily and Emma. I'm kind of, most of the time I'm right on top of everything. This year or this last little year, I'm just kind of riding this wave. I don't know what's going on, but I just did a little Google. And
sponsored by Google today.
Google, KFC.
Google gives you all the best answers that you're looking for every single day, 24/7. Check them out.
Oh my God.
Not sponsored.
Sponsored. The Handmaid's Tale is that I just see that there might be the new season 4 maybe. Yeah, season 4 probably. Anyway, that's probably happening. I'm excited for the new season of Handmaid's Tale. And what else is here? Barry's also here. New season of Barry. Anybody watch Barry?
Yeah, what's Barry, Chris?
What is Barry?
Yeah, what's Barry, Chris?
Actor, assassin turned actor. No?
Wow, what? No, that sounds cool.
It's apparently really
I've heard
good.
it from so many people that it's so good.
Shit. Okay, hang on. You've never watched Barry?
No, but everyone tells me it's so
Bill
good.
Hader is an assassin, and I'm not going to spoil it, but he ends up joining this community acting group, and he finds a passion for acting while he's this assassin.
Oh my God.
It's really good.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
Sounds like Dexter, but funnier, I guess.
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's very good.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna watch that.
Watch Barry. It's very good.
I do love Bill Hader.
Yeah.
And Diego is on the docket.
Yeah, I apologize. My internet is kind of glitchy, so I've been like catching glimpses here and there. But I think the thing that I'm most excited about is the What If series on Disney Plus. If anyone doesn't know, the What If is like the multiple universes that are within the Marvel universe. I believe that's what it is. And I recently found out that Chadwick Boseman had already recorded multiple episodes, which is I am gonna weep just watching those things. That was one of the things that hit me so hard this year. Like I heard, and I was like, I was at work, and I was like weeping, and I was like, so yeah, I'm really excited about that. Not only because of that, but also because of all the possibilities of the Marvel universe. Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I can expand on the what if, because I that's just floods my feed every single day. The what if is it's not necessarily all the different universes. It is exactly as the title kind of says. It's what if Chadwick Boseman was Chris oh my lord,
Captain America.
No, what if he was this other person? What if this person, this happened to this person? Like, it's literally, they're moving people. What if the superheroes were zombies? That's literally an episode. And it's all animated as well. So it's all voiceover. And it's just a whole bunch of stories. I believe it was a graphic series, a whole bunch of comics. And sorry for all the comic book fans that are obviously watching and I'm getting that wrong. But all of these cool stories that you just think in your head, oh man, what if that was like that? Super random. And that's kind of what it is. So it's going to be sick. so sick. Agreed. Another MCU one that just line it up on their big year coming up. Griffin's up.
On the topic of zombies, Black Summer season 2. I love zombies. Zombies are my biggest vice. Zombies will never get old for me. Comics, movies, video games, I don't care. I love zombies. It's filmed right here in Alberta, and it's the prequel to another show called Z Nation. And Z Nation I've watched because I watch almost all zombie things. Isn't that good? It's got low production value. I can never tell if they're trying to do that or if they're trying to make a serious show. I don't know. But Black Summer is very different. They got the whole Dark Knight twist. Tim Burton raved about Black Summer. It's very good. First season's on Netflix if you want to check it out. Love Black Summer.
Wow. Well, I think we need it's a little bit of a content idea. We make a video on YouTube, possibly about all of our favorite shows that are coming up, and that can be like 6 different things. Anyway, quick plug for ourselves. Follow us on this is probably
place,
where you are watching us is on the meeting place, so you're already
this whole
here.
podcast is a plug for ourselves.
That's true. This whole point. Next on Quick Hits is Caillou's now canceled.
Whoa.
It has been replaying. It's been playing in syndication since 2010. That was the last new episode was 2010. It's just been going and going like Energizer Bunny, and it's finally Caillou has been canceled. I remember watching Caillou when probably a couple years after the usual demographic of that show, so I just wanted to see if anyone else was affected by the Caillou
later
cancel.
than expected.
I mean, it is a Canadian show.
It is a Canadian show.
I'm never gonna hear the Caillou theme song again.
Oh no, you'll hear it. It's still.
He just always looked kind of weird to me, if I'm being honest. Like,
yeah. He was always angry. He was a very angry child, you know.
But like his expressions, like look at how tiny his little eyes are.
I love it.
But that just kind of sits with like the whole the children's shows that came out of Quebec. That's kind of I don't know if it came out of there, but that's what it reminds me of. More of those shows.
I wasn't allowed to watch Caillou as a kid.
Why?
Because my parents were worried that I'd watch Caillou and turn into a kid like Caillou.
Was he a bad kid?
Oh yeah, Caillou's an angry,
I never watched
misbehaved.
I didn't think he was angry,
but he looks like a little baby.
Yeah,
he's just a baby.
He's not a good kid. He's not a bad person. He hadn't had time to
bad parents,
but he's a bad kid. Yeah.
Are you saying bad kids grow into bad people?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that.
I think it's more of show about how to parent instead of how to be a child. I think more. It's more for parents.
Like I was not allowed to watch it. I was forbidden from watching Caillou.
Interesting.
That's so funny.
Well, now I'm sure you can cheers to your parents that it's done. It's off the network.
Kevin,
we did it, boys. We got it, boys.
We took Caillou down.
We got him, boys. Yeah.
There's a new leader in the world of richness. Mr. Elon Musk is now the richest person in the world, $190 billion man with all of his ventures. And there's a lot to be listed.
Wait, so he just outstripped Jeff Bezos?
He just had that $5 billion jump. I don't know if he just like sold a couple PS5s or something like that.
$5 billion jump?
Yeah. He passed.
Think about how much money that is. Like, I know he's got a lot, but that's huge...
it means nothing at that point. That's just another $5. Like that's.
But like, what do you like? Think about what you have to sell to have one thing sell for $5 billion.
That's
like even when they sell like Instagram, it's like I think when Facebook bought Instagram, it was like I can't remember how many millions it was, but I think it was like I would have to look it up. I'm gonna say like maybe it was like $3 million. I think when they bought Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a big part of it is because Tesla stock went up 700%. Tesla stock is up 700%. It's baffling because a lot of Elon Musk companies are incomplete and he got fired as CEO on like 70% of his ventures. But Tesla, that's how I think he did it.
The two big companies that I know that Elon is in charge of, Tesla as well as SpaceX.
Yeah.
Does anyone not know about SpaceX?
That's right.
At all?
Well, they sent people into space. They did it.
They sure did, and they're seeing those rockets. I see the rockets go up every other day. I don't know how he's saving money on that, but I mean, the space.
Wait, do you mean you physically see the rockets going up?
No, I'm sorry, I'm not that.
Okay,
LA,
I was so stoked.
I got a really cheap apartment. It's right beside where SpaceX launched.
Yeah, a really cheap apartment.
Just
Ashton
like
Kutcher is also right beside
Area
me.
51, like just outside of that.
I'm living in Musk's guest house.
Musk. Mr. Musk.
The Musk house.
Oh, that's gross.
House of Musk.
So bad.
SpaceX is valued at $46 billion. And Tesla is valued at $773 billion. So maybe he just bought a couple extra shares. And so Chris has something to say.
Yeah, something I don't know why it's never like kind of clicked for me, but I saw this on TikTok a while back, and somebody explained like the difference. People always underestimate the difference between 1 million and 1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think of it in terms of seconds, 1 billion seconds is 30 years.
Holy shoot!
Yeah,
that's a lot of of money.
Hold on. What?
Yeah.
Gordon hates that.
It's like, let's fact check.
That can't be right.
We haven't lived 1 billion seconds
for a second.
We haven't lived 1 billion seconds.
We haven't.
Yeah, none of us have, but soon.
I'm close.
I guess
I'm close.
1 million seconds.
I can't wait to celebrate your billionth second.
Aw.
That'd be cute.
I'm gonna text Emily. You missed my second. Are you freaking kidding me?
I thought we were friends.
That's actually a really fun fact, Chris, because 1 million seconds is 11 days.
Yeah.
That's minuscule.
Yeah.
In comparison to 30 years.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That is a good way to kind of compare it, because it is when a number gets above that, you can't even, like, you hear things like $57 billion. Like I can't even comprehend what that looks like or what that means.
Well,
like I can't imagine.
Another thing then, I guess Musk is worth 5,850 years of seconds.
5,850.
5,500, 600 billion.
Musk house.
I was scrolling through Looper. I don't know if anyone follows Looper. It's another entertainment outlet, and they had this one post where it just kind of stimulates your creativity, and I thought I would share it with you all. I don't have the picture for you, but I can easily explain it, and it will hit. Okay, so someone give me their favorite movie.
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Okay, great. So, sorry, that was now an inside joke because I'm the only one who laughed.
It was just an inside joke for yourself.
Created an inside joke for with yourself in the moment.
That's great.
We have to unpack what Jordan just said.
Yeah, he just had a full moment.
Okay.
The most inside it can be is inside me.
So the dark. Okay. The caption is this: pick a movie, keep one actor, the rest are played by Muppets.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So the Dark Knight, Christian Bale is real, everyone else is a Muppet.
Or oh no, I'm thinking of Dark Knight Rises. I was gonna say Bane's real and the rest are Muppets.
Oh my God.
So I wanted to do a roundtable on everyone's kind of favorite movie and just go my favorite movie, main person, their actor, and then everyone else is a Muppet. So I'm gonna
Does it have to be the main actor?
No, it does not. You can change it.
Perfect.
Okay, Griffin,
I have an excellent idea.
Griffin, go.
Because I was gonna say I want Alfred to be the real person.
Oh, that's funny, actually.
My favorite movie is Moulin Rouge, and I want the real actor to be the ringmaster, and everybody else is puppets.
Genius.
That's good.
It's an entire thing of just him making things up in his circus, and all the audience are Muppets too.
Oh my gosh.
Muppet Rouge.
Emma, you're on the edge of your seat. Go for it.
What?
I got
Okay, here's the thing though, little caveat. I don't have a favorite movie. I have movies I love, but I can't pick a favorite amongst all my babies. But I'm gonna pick
your Scottish babies.
My babies. No, I'm gonna pick Titanic because I think it's funny. And I'm going to say oh, that's so hard. I'm gonna say her fiance, the really rich guy. No. I'm gonna say he's real and everyone else is a Muppet.
That's a lot of dead Muppets.
Rose is Miss Piggy. Yeah.
That's what I'm
the
gonna
captain
say.
Is a puppet.
The captain's a puppet. Like all the water's coming up, and he's just like this, and he's just
the band at the end.
The band is
they're the Muppet band.
Yeah,
like it would be so good.
The last chef with his mustache hanging in before he falls is a Muppet.
Yeah.
Swedish chef.
Swedish chef done. Oh my God.
Somehow the car is also a puppet.
Oh yeah. There's like they zoom out as it's going down and there's a face on the Titanic that's just going like yeah.
Oh no. Drowning Muppets.
Emily, go for it.
I think one of my favorite movies, I watched it again recently, is Mad Max. And I don't know what would be better if Max is the person and everyone else is a Muppet, or if like the guitar man is the only person that's a human and
the guy in the chains.
Yeah, like that's some ridiculous character, or the Lord man. I don't know what his name is.
That guitar guy got a crazy amount of screen time.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That was good.
Yeah, of course it did.
I would just love to see like Muppets around a desert fighting and driving. I just think that's so
It's amazing.
Barrel shotguns.
Love that.
Yeah.
Chris.
I think it would be funny to be like Avengers Endgame, but Thanos is the only real and everybody else is the Muppets.
Oh my gosh. I mean, he is
that one scene
Muppet,
where everyone's like appearing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're all Muppets.
Just a little Thor Muppet. Oh, that's
anytime
so
any of them jump in the air, you just see an arm.
Yeah.
Aww.
On your left, all these arms through the portals.
Yeah.
I'm breaking the rules here for mine. It said pick a movie, but I just thought of a show. I'm gonna pick Friends, and Gunther is the only person who's real, and everyone else is a Muppet.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
He's like the Mr. Rogers of the situation, and everyone just walks into his coffee house.
Oh god.
It's actually, that turned kind of nice. All right.
Right? It's kind of nice, right?
That's cute.
And then I had as the final segment for today.
Wait, did we hear Diego's, or am I an idiot?
No,
he said Alfred for instead of.
Right.
Christian.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Diego. Do you want to elaborate on that, or is that the one that you would like to choose? You can pick a different one as well.
If I had to pick a different one, I would go with Empire Strikes Back and put Yoda as the real one. Everybody else is
The real, but what? How would you?
A live action Yoda.
It's real. It's a real thing.
He's already made by the Henson Company.
Not this time. Not this time.
Not this time.
That's the tagline of the movie. Not this time, Yoda.
Star Wars, not this time.
You can't slack around this time.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna before we get into this, we're gonna do another butter me up segment. I have gone. I believe Emma has also gone. So we're gonna.
I didn't go.
Wait,
Emily went.
Emily went. We'll go with Chris and Griffin on the other side of the screen there. For me.
Griff, you want me to go? You got something?
Sure, Chris. Yeah, I can take the wheel on this one. I'm gonna recommend. It's one that I've already got Chris and Diego hooked on to, but it's not another D&D podcast. I didn't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons until I started listening to this podcast, and it's four of the old college humor writers, so it's just a lot of great improvisers. And the best part is that one of them, Jake from Jake and Amir, does not know the game as one of the hosts. He's learning the game throughout the whole show, so you learn the game too. It's very funny. I've cried a few times. The storytelling is like really excellent. And it's great for chores or driving or goof 'em ups. Not another D&D podcast. They don't need my help, but I'm still plugging them.
I'm gonna get in.
All right, Chris.
I like that.
Yeah. Heart. Yep.
Wow. Thanks, everybody.
I have a couple things. Because I really couldn't think of anything that's been new to recommend that's new into my life. So a couple things. I Googled how many seconds is 1 trillion seconds. How many years is 1 trillion seconds? And it's 31,688 years.
Holy shit.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, so there's that.
Recommendation is do your research, people.
Yeah.
The recommendation is fun fact: 31,000 years.
Fun facts with Chris Pereira.
Fun facts with Krispy Kreme.
Time into years.
Now we know how much despair we need to feel when either Jeff or Musk becomes a trillionaire. That's how much despair we'll feel.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the U.S. was $3 trillion in debt? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
All
right, Chris.
What are they in now?
I got more. I'm gonna also recommend. Actually, Jordan, will you allow me to? Can you let me share my screen?
When we share the screen on Zoom, it goes all kinds of.
Remember that glow?
Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah.
So you're
gonna have to paint a picture with this one.
Are you recommending a
Paint
painting?
a picture with your words.
No, I want everyone to Google the Pokemon Gengar portable bed.
Okay, here we go.
I saw this, Chris. This is so good.
How do you even spell that?
Oh my God!
Gengar is spelled Gengar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gengar
that's so good.
Never in my life did I think I'd be on a podcast where we have to spell out Gengar.
So for those viewers who have YouTube Premium and they're listening to this with their phone off, Gengar, the Pokemon, he's a purple ghost Pokemon who has a very long pink tongue, and this company put out this pillow bed where his tongue is the bed and you rest your head inside his mouth.
Emily, I sent it in the chat.
My favorite picture
just
one in the bottom right where he's
horrifying.
kneeling in the head.
Yeah, that's so
Gengar,
good.
Yeah, what's
put
the
your
point of
tongue
that
back
one?
in.
What's the point of the
I
kneeling?
don't know.
Oh my god.
What's the point of anything in this life?
Here's the other
Exactly,
thing.
what's the
There's
point?
already a Pokemon related to having a long tongue. I don't know why they chose Gengar.
There are already gaming consoles and chicken ovens. Why not both?
Chicken
That's true.
ovens.
Chicken ovens.
Chicken ovens.
What a
Chicken
show.
ovens.
Chicken ovens.
And my very last thing, it'll be quick. So I just
Wow, butter me up,
I
Chris.
I don't know. I could do 3. I would have done a lot
Yeah, I would have
more.
done 12, Chris.
they're supposed
Oh
to
my
be
God.
small, but we're talking about it. It's fun. Okay. I'm recently I used to be allergic to mangoes. I'm not allergic to mangoes anymore.
Oh,
Nice.
congrats.
We got him, boys.
Yeah.
Go to
got 'em.
Costco, you can buy a big old bag of dried mangoes and they're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so good.
Those are good.
Chris,
Those
no
are
joke.
good.
No joke, Chris. I was thinking about recommending mangoes on my section. I just peeled and ate a full mango last night, and it was so good.
It's really good.
Wow,
I cannot
everyone.
believe you
You
said
are
that.
so connected. Is Costco a Canadian company?
No.
They got,
I
they
don't
got
know.
No, it's,
I don't think so.
No,
Okay.
it feels too American. I
bulky.
think. Yeah, too bulky.
Yeah.
Excess.
Yeah, the real Canadian
Extra
superstore
large.
definitely sounds like a real Canadian place.
Yeah.
We're gonna head into our last segment here.
Wait, I didn't go.
Well, oh my gosh, I'm so horrible at.
Wait, didn't
Well, no, we
Oh,
go.
wait,
We
wait,
go
wait.
again. We go again.
Yeah. Wait, okay, we're good.
I was on point for that.
No,
We're
you're
saving
right, you're
the
right.
best butter me ups for last, right
I don't
after
think
our
it's-
last segment. Look forward to
So
them.
much
Stay
pressure
tuned.
now.
I don't know,
Oh
Jordan.
my
Did you hear when
God.
Chris said dried mango?
Did you hear when he said tongue bed? Because I saw that.
Kneel on the tongue. Put your head on your desk.
The streaming wars are still happening. We're heading into we're in 2021, and there's new streaming systems getting bought out
From
by other
KFC.
ones. Yeah, Quibi just got bought out by Roku, and there's maxes and pluses and
Wow.
all these different things just kind of it's starting to feel like a little bit like cable again with how many subscriptions that you have. And basically the question for everyone, it can be quick, or it can also, I also have a list of all the top shows. If you really want some good sports stats, what service is going to be the king? One has to win in this situation. All right, one has to win. I have a list for you here, so you can start throwing these around in your brain. No particular order, but there is an order on my screen. Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Hulu, or in Canada, ABC Spark. Then there's your Voodoos, your Crunchyroll / Funimations, and then you get into CBS All Access. Apple also has their streaming service. Now, it used to be, and I think still is, I'll kind of kick it off to give more context, that Netflix is the king of streaming, and I still think that is the case. They have a lot of shows. They're doing great with their original content, and there's a lot coming. But you can't say that a chunk hasn't been taken out of the streaming pie, as it were, because the Griffin loved
So
that one.
good.
Griffin
Yeah.
loved
Put
that
so
one.
many synonyms into that word. I meant to say syllables.
You could
So many cinnamons.
I
There's so
think
many
you
synonyms in
could
there.
argue that with HBO Max now including the blockbuster movies, that I subscribe to them, so they have my viewership going there. I'm watching other streaming services less. Disney Plus, every time they put out a show, because it is every original content show that they will have millions of people watching it, because their big thing is they bank on what they know works. right? It's so you could argue Disney Plus could take a chunk. Amazon Prime has, it has Handmaid's Tale and all these great shows, and then of course there's Netflix. I'll jump in and I'll say, if we look 20 years in the future, if these streaming services, there's no more movie theaters, all this kind of stuff, and we're logging into our blank TV because it's the only channel there is, because now monopolized, I think that Disney is gonna win in the long run because their original content is just so good and it blankets so many generations. It reaches the most amount of people, I think, in the long run, that I think it just needs to play the long game. That amusement park has been there forever. Like, and people are still going more than ever. So hot take, I think Disney Plus is eventually gonna be the king, queen person on top. I'm going to pass it on in reverse order this time. Chris, you're going to be going first this time. That never happens today. So what do you think? If you need a recap,
never happens today.
That never
one stop. Oh God, I don't know. I just got Disney Plus like recently. I just got it. I just started watching Smart Guy, and
yeah, wow. I love that show.
Yeah, go watch Smart Guy. That's my other butter me up, Smart Guy. Anyway, so I'm taking all of them. I have 4. I'm worried Netflix will go the way of Blockbuster eventually. So, but I don't know. This is so tough. I'm gonna say Netflix might reign supreme. It'll be hard, but I'm gonna say Netflix will still, because Netflix is like what Kleenex is to like tissue, paper, or to blow your nose. Kleenex, the brand.
Yeah. Or like Q-tips.
We know.
Yeah, I'm with you, buddy.
Chapstick.
Yeah, we follow.
But that's what Netflix is, right? That's what everyone you reference when you're talking about streaming services.
Right.
Your main go-to is always Netflix. So.
That's true. I guess when you say you hear a show that you don't really know, you're not like, oh, is that on Peacock?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I think just in all, because Peacock is a new brand, so I'm just that maybe there aren't first audiences on Peacock. But that's an interesting thought. Is like, oh, is that on Netflix or So that's interesting. Emily, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm the same as Chris. Like, Netflix is the only streaming service I have right now, and it has more than enough stuff that I can keep up with already. So I feel like it's sort of the original thing. People have Netflix and then they maybe get another account somewhere else, but I feel like it will be consistent with like what they're putting out and people being true to it, I think.
Ooh, I like that. So much it's like this feeling of loyalty. I feel warm.
Brand loyalty.
The only thing is if like the prices, because they do raise every year or two or something like that, if they get like too high to a point where I'm like, I've kind of seen everything I need to, I'll switch it up maybe. Right. I've heard that some people sort of do subscriptions in chunks, like they'll subscribe to like Crave for a couple months and then switch over to something else and kind of like, so you're not subscribing to all 5 at once. So that's kind of a cool thing to do too.
Yeah, actually, that was, I think, when all these streaming services were popping up, that's something that I thought of doing. Oh, I'll just get the service for when my show comes out. That's how they,
and you just like have it for the month or two, watch it, and then go to pay the monthly fee, because you don't get charged like an annual thing.
No,
just for when you're using it. So
yeah, interesting. Emma?
Yeah. I would say in the long run, I probably agree with, I would say I agree with Jordan that Disney's gonna be fine no matter what. Like, they're always gonna be one or two. I think Netflix and Disney are probably gonna be fine because Netflix had the jump of creating all this original content like pretty early on. So they have just tons of original content that like no other streaming service can take from them. And Disney, you know, is Pixar, also does a lot of like documentaries. They have like all the Muppet stuff on there. They've just, so like, love the Muppets. But like Disney Plus was, and they've got, you know, the whole Star Wars universe. Like they've got so many different universes within there. Like over Christmas, like all we watched was Disney Plus. And I don't even have Disney Plus. I'm sharing off a family's account that are family friends of mine in Calgary. And also I don't even have my own Netflix. I share with my brother. So the only streaming service I pay for is Amazon Prime. And I started that in the summer, and that was only so I could watch my way entirely through Bob's Burgers whenever I was eating or hanging out. And I did that, and now I don't even watch stuff on there anymore, so I should honestly cancel my account. But yeah, I'm gonna watch that Sundance Now and this weekend and then cancel that. So I do that thing where I just kind of hop around. Yeah, but I agree that I think Disney is king, the mouse is king. They got it figured out, and they don't need to be like super worried.
I recently also got Disney Plus. I got the package duo Hulu Disney Plus,
Nice.
Which I'm pretty excited about. But yeah, I think Netflix is gonna reign for a really long time. They got so many shows. They got original shows. They pick up stuff from like different companies all the time. So like, I don't think they're going anywhere, and I think they're gonna stay on top for a really long time. And yeah, like everyone said, they're the main name that everyone knows. Like you go, oh, is it on Netflix? Then I'm not watching.
Right.
So that's.
I'd like I wasn't sure what you said that actually made me think of this, but the shows that a big thing about streaming is the bingeability, right? I would argue that's something that really helps with I don't know, just streaming services in general. If it's bingeable, then that's a great, you got pretty much a hit or something like that. And what are the two, what would you argue? I'll just say them. The two arguably biggest bingeable, watchable shows are The Office and Friends. I think in this current, at least within the last few years, like over general audience, that's a very general audience, that I think that those two shows have reigned supreme in, like, I'm watching Friends for the 80th time, in The Office I'm watching that for the 20th time.
What's also interesting, you look at a show like Queen's Gambit, which was a Netflix original, and that, like, everyone watched it. It was like, I don't know how many views it had, but it was insane. I wonder on other streaming services if they reach that amount of views for shows.
I don't think they do yet. Not yet.
That's the thing. Like, Netflix has already put in these shows that people are just like, it catches, it's in the top 10 and everyone watches it. So
that's an interesting stat there. 10 of the top 20 on a certain article that I read. Most watched shows of 2020 were Netflix. 10 of the top 20.
Yeah.
So, but I think it does say something where Office is now on Peacock and Friends is now on HBO Max. Shows that have production companies behind them or distribution companies behind them are taking their shows back because they believe that they could take a chunk out of the Netflix king. They can just
Horde of the dragon.
Exactly. Yeah. Take down the dragon. Griffin. Emma, go for it.
I was just gonna say, it's interesting you say Friends and The Office though too, because like there's tons of recent shows like the Queen's Gambit, Emily, like you're saying, that are extremely bingeable. But the Queen's Gambit is like, most of the episodes are around an hour, some are slightly more, but it's like there's only 7 episodes, so you're only getting like around 8.5 hours of watch time from every household that's watching it, right? But if you look at like The Office or you look at Friends, you've got so many seasons, you've got so long, so many hours of watch time. And if you're having people like when I lived in university and my two people that lived below me would just watch The Office every day, all the time, and I would just hear it coming through the floor, Alex and Joel, and it was just like,
There it is.
It was just extremely interesting to me because I hadn't watched The Office in years, but they were like rewatching all the time, just having it on. And so like, even if they're not paying full attention, those hours are going into Netflix. So it's pretty interesting when you have something that has like 12 years of episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Griff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot more to give. I don't think anyone's catching up to Netflix. Disney's great, but Netflix. I think you guys are right that Disney's going to be fine, but Netflix like wasn't even the first streaming service, but took the crown first of streaming services. Verizon had the whole streaming service go 90. Netflix killed them. Pop TV was around before Netflix, and now Pop TV has to sell shows to Netflix. Man, Sherlock, Riverdale, House of Cards, Queen's Gambit. There's I don't think there's anything touching Netflix, especially since Netflix didn't have a studio or broadcaster before. They made their own Netflix shows. HBO, Disney, Amazon. They all came from a broadcaster distributor. Netflix was its own parent umbrella company. No one's catching Netflix.
No.
They were the ones that took down Blockbuster. They were the ones that were like, hey, Blockbuster, you're done forever now.
Well, and they just keep reaching new levels of like in the money they're able to put into shows and producing their own stuff, and like and the quality of those things are getting better and better. So it's.
I feel like all the streaming services you download for like 2 or 3 shows, and then you cancel your membership. Netflix, you get a constant stream of like 7 new shows a year, and 2 of them are going to be good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No one's catching Netflix. Love you, Disney. No one's doing it.
Love you, Disney.
I'm tentative to. I don't know that. I feel like Disney could eventually catch up to that. Like they're really new, but I think they could in the long run. I think they could.
Oh yeah. In my lifetime, no one's catching Netflix.
In your lifetime,
not for you.
In my next billion seconds. That ain't happening.
Griffin, in 2050, you're gonna eat your words.
I to close this segment up before we get into the final 2 Butter Me Ups from Emily and Emma.
Emma.
No.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I need a notepad. Can we get a notepad? My Butter Me Up is a notepad.
This is the prototype run of this.
This is usually what I do, right? I don't know who's gone and who's answered.
But I love it because you say it so confidently.
That's what matters.
Everybody.
At the end of the day.
The confidence keeps the show moving, right? So whoever's Butter Me Up is coming up next. Stay tuned.
Emma, you go first.
I wanted to cap the segment. Disney Plus. I have this from The Verge, December 10th, 2020. Little article here. Disney Plus is still expanding, and it's got a long way to go. Netflix likely has more than 200 million subscribers worldwide, but more than 86 million subscribers in a year for Disney Plus. 86 million in a year versus Netflix.
I'm talking about.
So it's
and they've only been around for a year.
It's only been around for a year. Their year anniversary was last month.
Wow.
Oh, really? That's insane.
So Netflix is king for now, but the mouse is catching up. That's all I'm gonna leave it there. All right.
Mouse has been doing some CrossFit.
Not enough. Fred Netflix will get him.
Fred Netflix.
We're going to end the show with our last little segment of Butter Me Up. So take it away, the people who need to do it.
Whoever.
No, Diego, you go first. Okay.
He's beatboxing, right. So now you have to go, Emma.
Beatboxing, and I will tell you. Okay. I had 2 ideas, but I'm gonna distill it down to 1, Chris.
You can do them all.
No, I'm distilling it down to 1, and I'm going to talk
That's allowed.
About a nice little snack I sometimes make. So I don't know who likes mushrooms out there, but Emily, Griffin, great, Chris,
Cremini,
Diego, and
Cremini preferably.
Cremini. Okay, so yeah.
So loud.
So
Cremini.
Holy. Holy fuck. I almost. Oh, oops. But,
it's okay. I've sworn twice.
All right.
Go ahead, Emma. Go ahead.
Okay. So you can do it with any type of small mushroom. You can use cremini. I actually used cremini a couple days ago, but it's best with shiitake if you can get shiitake mushrooms. But there's this really awesome, easy way to make a little mushroom snack that's like a traditional Japanese way. And it's just butter and soy sauce. So you slice up your shiitake mushrooms and you put them in like a little pan with butter. And then you just fry them in the butter for a little while. And then right before you're about to take them off the heat, you put in a splash of soy sauce and you put it around and they just soak it all up. And it is honestly, I started making it like a year and a half ago and I just kind of did it on my own. And then I looked it up and it was like, no, like this is like a traditional Japanese side dish. And I was like, whoa, incredible. And they're the best things I've ever tasted. Like they are so good. So if you want to make a really rich, delightful, umami flavored side dish, get yourself some shiitake, get yourself some butter, get yourself some soy sauce and go to town.
Oh my God.
Go wild.
And go buck wild, everyone.
Go wild on that.
Yeah, your taste buds will thank you.
Even including butter in that butter me up segment. I loved it.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Over to Diego. You got the water.
For his cremini recipe. Go ahead,
This
Diego.
is actually really perfect. Diego, you can go ahead and do your butter me up and then wrap us up and take us home on the third episode of the meeting.
All right, everybody. My butter me up section is my recommendation is the podcast as well. It's called The Hand of Brass. Some people that we know have this podcast and it's called The Hand of Brass. If you like fantasy kind of settings and stuff like that, it's really cool. It's kind of like a story-based setting. It's not like they're just talking like this one. There is a progression with characters and we have some friends in that podcast as well.
Diego, are you in it?
No, I'm not in it, but I enjoy it. I have been listening and it's really cool. And yeah, it's for us it's nice to hear some friendly voices. For everyone else, I think it's also a really great story to hear if you are into fantasy and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's been it for today, friends. Thank you for sticking with us. We talk, what is it? What's the thing?
We have movies, entertainment, TV, and anything we want to talk about.
TVs.
That's it. Today it's been Chris, Jordan, Emma, Emily, Griffin, and myself again, Diego. Thank you for listening to the Meeting Place podcast. Check us out. Make sure you like, subscribe, and tune in to our next videos. All right. See you later, everyone.
Do we smash?
Do we smash
Do we
black?
smash?
To black?
Smash to black.
Smash the black.
For me,
Chris.